This is 680 News, Toronto.
Good morning. It's Saturday, April the 11th. I'm Leah Johansson.
And I'm Asher Roth. Here's what's making news right now. A rare emergency sitting of Parliament will take place today as the federal government aims to pass its $73 billion wage subsidy program.
The mayor is offering his support for stricter bylaw enforcement, calling on the police chief and licensing and standards office to increase the pressure on citizens not staying home.
Should you take an allergy pill or go to the hospital? We'll tell you how you can spot the difference between COVID-19.
It depends. Is your nose running? Is your ass
The
running?
anticipated TV reunion is now delayed because of the COVID-19 shutdown.
These are not the top stories.
Is welcome to the NHL moment, and tonight on Sportsnet, the Raptors championship run continues. Sports at 15.
And coming up in business, companies are
I'm
taking
selling
action to
these
support the mental health
for
of
like
Canadians
$999 Canadian. It's a multi-purpose seat, water collection, laundry tub, everything, food storage. For extra $300, we give you a lid.
So we have to look at your drive here at Bodenstein.
This report is brought to you by AGM Renovations. A new issue of spotting east on the 401 east of the DVC.
I got bucket seats. Get it? Get it? I got bucket seats, but there's only one.
No one really assisting this motorist just yet, but I'm sure there's a ton
No,
of
they
traffic
won't.
out there right now. In the meantime, again, everything moving well through there and everywhere else. A little bit of
You'd be lucky if they
construction
chuck a bottle of hand sanitizer out the window at you, buddy. Good luck!
Plumbing, electrical, furnace, water damage problems in your home? Call AGM Renovations for an express service and safeguarded visit. Go to agmbasements.com. With your forecast, here's Denise Andriachi.
Lots of sunshine today. It's a cool start, but we will be seasonal this afternoon. The winds are finally starting to ease, but it's still
I never saw that
feels
star
like
there. There's
-3,
stars on it.
-4 across much of the GTA right now.
That looks like my
An
grandmother's
increase in
floor.
cloudiness as we move through the overnight. We are expecting showers tomorrow. If you can safely get outside and enjoy the sunshine and seasonal temperatures this afternoon, a guaranteed high 10 degrees.
680 News Time 9:02.
The Easter long weekend is typically spent seeing extended family or up north at the cottage, but while most Canadians spend this one inside, others will be spending their day in the House of Commons. MPs will be looking to pass the largest
Nice
economic measures
segue.
the
Some
country has
Canadians
seen
are going to
since
do
the Second
this.
World War.
This as Canadians look to weather this pandemic that has now infected 22,000 people across Canada and killed over 500. 680 Stuart McGinn joins us live with the latest. Stuart. Asher, the
You're not
$73
dreaming,
billion
this shit's real.
wage subsidy program has been created to help businesses
My
keep
cigarette
staff on their
went out.
payroll during this crisis. The federal government's offering to pay 75%
Don't
of
be
workers'
close.
salaries, leaving many of those struggling businesses on the line for just the remaining 25%, meaning layoffs could be reduced.
What is the amount you would have to pay taxes
Hiring
anyway?
back some employees who've already lost their jobs.
The contributions,
Prime Minister
because
Justin
they
Trudeau
pay the
talked about
contributions
emergency
too,
sitting in the House
twice.
of
They just pay
Commons today
twice.
during a time when so many are being encouraged to stay home.
It's really important, despite a time of crisis, that our institutions remain strong and our democratic principles continue.
Institutions like drug dealers and car theft rings.
Will include only a
and-
small portion of the 338 elected MPs. Just 32 will be there, those in driving distance of the nation's capital coming, while Andrew Scheer is using a...
They're driving themselves, what the fuck?
Scheer and NDP leader Jagmeet Singh will be speaking ahead of the sitting about the government's response to the COVID-19 crisis so far. We'll then get the daily address
These
from
nerve,
Trudeau
these
from
nerve,
the
these
floor of the
nerve.
House of Commons this afternoon.
Oh
A small
shit, I
group
got
of senators are
$19.
also sitting later today to give the wage subsidy program final approval if it's passed unanimously through the House. Reporting live, Stuart McGinn, 680 News.
680 News Time, 9:04.
You know I'm $15. Now I got 19. What the fuck?
Extended emergency orders
Give this to
until
somebody and
April
spend it. Change those numbers
23rd.
up.
This comes as Mayor John Tory calls for stricter physical distancing enforcement. 680's Joey Keeney has the latest.
Mayor John Tory sent a letter to Police Chief Mark Saunders and the Executive Director of
letter?
Municipal Licensing and Standards, Carlton
Why not a
Grimes, to
text?
request tighter enforcement of the city's bylaws. As a part of the
He's your
ongoing
black
talks on
friend.
Market
You're allowed to
Square,
text
Tory
him.
says after a week of giving citizens a talking to and sending them on their way, the time has come for more ticket marketing.
Yeah,
Mayor also
handcuff
says we need
tickets,
people to realize as
motherfucker.
quickly
You
as
ain't.
possible what they need to do to stay healthy. And the province is extending all emergency orders until
Everything
April
I do that
23rd.
might get the
This
police
means all of
attention,
the
I know,
measures in
could
place
get me
are
arrested.
still in
These
effect.
bastards only get
This includes
tickets.
the closure of all non-essential businesses and gatherings of more than 5 people. As with every day, we're expecting an update on the province's
Remember, 3 is a
numbers around
gang.
10:30 this morning.
5 is a public
Yesterday's
health
report
hazard.
showed Ontario's biggest single-day jump in COVID deaths since the outbreak began. We're also expecting Premier Ford's daily address sometime this afternoon. I'm Joey Keeney. Apple and Google have announced a joint effort to help public health agencies across
You
the world
shut up!
leverage smartphones to contain the pandemic. New software the companies plan to add to phones would make it easier to use Bluetooth wireless technology to track people who may have been infected by carriers of the coronavirus. The idea is to help
Oh,
national,
your
state,
cell phone
and local
carrier is going to
governments
track the
roll out
carriers,
apps
your
called
body, your
contact tracing
body.
that will run on iPhones and Android phones alone.
I think my
Using
phone got a
Bluetooth, the
virus.
apps would gather
It's
a
not
record of
working.
other phones with which they came into close proximity. Data can be used to alert others who might have been infected by known carriers of COVID-19 when the phone's owners have installed the apps and agreed to
Oh,
share
so if
data
I'm
with public
infected,
health
I'm
authorities.
supposed to download an app, install it, make sure my phone works and is charged, and not forget it at home. So if you come within 10
With
feet of me,
allergy
if the
season
Bluetooth is
full swing,
working,
many are wondering, are these
you might get a
symptoms just
warning.
allergies, or could it be something more? 680's Madison Fitzpatrick tells us how you can spot the difference
I'm allergic
between
to
allergies and COVID-19.
bat meat.
Watery eyes, coughing, and a runny nose. All symptoms common with seasonal allergies, but now they're all associated
It's my
with
1 ounce quarter
COVID-19.
pound
Health
Churchill.
specialists say the biggest difference between the two is a fever. It's also helpful to understand what the symptoms are for COVID-19.
Tell you what, I've never had allergies in my
and
life.
seasonal allergies. According to public health, common symptoms for COVID-19 include fever, dry cough, difficulty breathing, diarrhea, and the loss of taste and smell. Symptoms
Which comes
of
in
seasonal
handy when you got
allergies, however,
diarrhea.
include sneezing, runny nose,
And
coughing,
you can't
and
find
itchy
toilet
eyes.
paper.
If you're still unsure, the two leading signs
What,
of
he
COVID-19
stinks in
are
here. You
fever
okay,
and
bro? What
shortness
the
of
fuck
breath,
happened?
and
I can't
congestion
smell
is
it.
minimal. And when it comes to allergies, there's often much more
You're
congestion and
sick. You need to
sneezing.
go to a
Officials say
doctor.
you should consider how long your symptoms last. Seasonal allergies typically last the whole season, while COVID-19 symptoms often last between 1 and 4 weeks. I'm Madison Fitzpatrick.
680 News Time, 9:07. 3 men are facing
14
charges
days.
in a
10 days.
multi-million-dollar vehicle seizure investigation. The Commercial Auto Crime Bureau of Peel Regional Police arrested 1 man in March and another 2 on Thursday. All 3 are charged with 12 counts of possession of
Old
property
school
obtained by
niggas,
crime
man.
and 10 counts of trafficking in stolen goods over $5,000. 2 of the men are also facing other fraud-related charges. The trio will appear in a
I don't give a
Brampton
fuck.
courthouse at a later date.
And police are
In the
investigating
South
after
right now,
reports of a
eating
man
bale
firing
sandwiches.
a gun at
Don't give a
random
fuck.
vehicles in North York last night. Officers were called to the Jane and Shepherd area just before midnight and found shell casings and a vehicle with its windshield shot out. The suspect was seen leaving the area in a silver car. Police say no
And a
injuries
black
were
t-shirt.
reported.
He's wearing a black shirt.
A rare baseball hat
So am I,
trick
under
headlines
here.
today's
This black
sports
shirt.
retro menu. Our
I'm wearing
Simon
a black
Bennett
shirt.
has a preview.
See it? See the
Oh,
three buttons.
memories, lots of them in Sports Day today. Remember that day in 2015 when Edwin Encarnacion hit 3 home runs and the fans at Rogers
No.
Center threw hats?
Don't do that now. They'll fucking shoot you.
People are throwing hats on the field for the hat trick box. Look at all the hats in right field. It's a Canadian tradition. Yeah, they're going out and
Ain't no Canadian tradition. What you talking
Sports
about?
Day replays that game at 3:30.
Basketball's
The
Canadian
Raptors
tradition,
championship
asshole.
run winding down. Game 5 against Golden State for the finals. Remember that tease that got us all excited? If everything that went down over the last 24 years led us to this moment tonight, then let's not change a thing. Enjoy. I'm Simon Bennett.
And it's going to be a bit
Did I-
warmer
what
today
the
than it
fuck was that
yesterday.
flashback,
680's
bro?
weather specialist
Jesus.
Denise Andriacci tells us the weather roller coaster this long weekend is just a start of the season.
We kind of see sort of a tale of 2 seasons playing out. So yesterday it was cool and below seasonal. Today we're fairly seasonal, dry with a mix of sun and cloud. We are expecting showers Sunday, Monday.
The temperature today will nudge into the double digits with a guaranteed high of 10 degrees. Still ahead, we'll take a look at the price of the pumps coming up next.
680 News Time, 9:09.
Reassurance in anxious times. We're in this together. 680 News. The Salvation Army thanks its frontline personnel and volunteers who are working tirelessly to provide essential
Like Doug Hammond, who spit in my face and gave me COVID-19. Thank you.
This pandemic continues to
Oddly
impact
enough,
our
it's sort of
communities
biblical.
across
I
the
got
nation.
inoculated
The Salvation
by the
Army is
priests,
adjusting its
if you think
programs
about it.
and
And if you go to
services
Africa,
help
you want to
and
go
hope
wandering
to
around
those
certain
who need it
places,
most.
you got to get the chief
Join
to
us and
spit in your
support our
face, or
neighbors in
they
need.
won't let you.
To donate,
I don't know.
visit salvationarmy.ca
Some pattern
or
to
call
this.
1-800-SAL-ARMY.
Now the 680
Oh, I could go, oh, you
protesting-
spit in my face, I'm gonna murder
Protest
you.
didn't
But
change at midnight, holding at 77.9
on a practical
cents
level,
a liter at most GTA stations.
all these junkies trying to scare me like they're gonna cough in my face don't seem to get it. I'm wearing the mask.
No frills customers. Starting April 16, flyers
Underneath
will be
the mask,
digital
I'm
only.
laughing.
Please know that low price commitment is still the #1 priority, and they're still providing great weekly promotions and offers. Find them in store on superstore.ca.
I got coffee, I got weed, I got cigarettes. I'll be all right.
My name is Aaron Waxman, and in times of uncertainty, we can take solace in the fact that those that we care about, our family, our friends, and those in our community are safe and are practicing physical
The next 2 days are
and staying
holidays.
at home. At my firm, I've encouraged staff to work from home and to follow the guidelines to staying safe. I know these are difficult times, but we can take this moment
Why don't you go to the
reflect on
dollar
what we
store,
have
empty
to be
them out of
grateful
meat,
for. I wish you and your family only
and buy
peace
like 2
and good
dozen
health.
things of milk
Get
in the
Real
grocery
Canadian
store.
Superstore, no
Just piss off
frills
everybody.
customers. Starting April 16, flyers will be digital only. Please know that low price commitment is still the #1
Hey,
priority.
every product
and
is a
they're still providing
barcode, correct?
great
Why
weekly
can't I just
promotions
type the
and offers.
barcode
Find
into
them
the
in store
computer
on
and find out what it
superstore.ca,
costs and where it is? Should be simple,
and
right?
in the PC Optimum app.
Isn't that what the military invented the internet for? And the RFID chips?
Together on the ones. With a look at your drive, here's Zach Bowden.
And the GPS to tell you where the fuck it is in the store. Turn left, look up. Oh,
Our only problem cleared, East 401, east of the DVP and the Express. Everything's gone.
we sold weed the way you people sell bread and milk and eggs. We wouldn't sell any fucking weed.
404 QB Gardner. A little bit of
Oh,
construction
supply
stuff in the
management.
west
We gotta
end,
throw it on the ground
27,
because the price went down. No, buddy, that's when you start selling 2 for 1, stupid.
But the ramps to Highway 7 are open, so that's
how
probably
you
the most
extend your
viable
supply
alternate
chain.
if you need to head through there.
One more
You can
level.
always use that instead. Meantime, Shaw blocked a King for TTC track work. Yes, you can hire the gardener to keep your
That's
yard
right on the
green,
corner
and
with
you don't have
the
to come
loony
near them.
bins.
Look at all the things the gardener could do for your yard at
I got good
hirethegardener.com.
photos of me on Facebook in that yard.
Your next report's at 9:21. Let's get a check of the forecast now. Here's Denise Andriachi.
Well, we've got a lot of sunshine this morning. It is cold, though. It feels into the minus single digits across the GTA.
Minus?
It will be near seasonal for the afternoon.
Minus
A
single
guaranteed high
digits,
of
yo.
10
Who
degrees.
are you?
Increasing
What's your
cloud
cruise
later
name? Yo, we
tonight
the
and
minus
showers
single
for
digits,
Sunday,
dog.
9 through
Holy
11.
fuck, that sounds
We could dip
negative,
to
dog.
15 millimeters tomorrow. And we
Independent,
are
single
expecting stormy
digits,
weather
eh?
for Monday. Where
One
special
number.
weather statements
You
have
got my
already been
number,
issued for
eh?
areas outside the GTA. So we're keeping an eye on this system, and we'll be talking more about it through this Easter long
It's
weekend.
like the opposite of
Mostly
plus
cloudy
1,
and
eh?
2 degrees at Pearson Airport. Your guaranteed high is 10.
6:80
10.
time.
That's a nice round
9:13.
number. It's
How much
13
dried
o'clock.
pasta do you have in the cupboard these days? The COVID-19 pandemic has reportedly triggered a huge run on
Dollarama.
products, and a plant in Brampton is definitely feeling its effects.
Every time they do an Etel Pasta story, I don't have any Etel Pasta in my house.
Already the largest manufacturer of pasta in Canada. Owner and president
50
Joe
cents
Vitale says he's had
for
to
macaroni
add
and
shifts and
cheese.
go from 5 days a week to a 24/7 operation.
Crab dinner's
just to keep up with
$2.29. Fuck you. I'll get 3 boxes. I'll give one of the boxes to the homeless person and give 80 cents away. Fuck you, crab.
Etel Pasta is also scaling down its product offerings.
We also went from making about 63 different cuts of pasta. Now, in this pandemic, we're only making about 6 different cuts. And this helps us increase.
This is not the time to diversify. This is the time to stick to what works. That's smart. We're not selling this weird fusilli shit. We're not selling this spaghettini shit. What do they want? Macaroni and cheese. Okay. Line number 1, 2, and 3 will be macaroni and cheese, motherfucker.
Coming up in just 60 seconds.
This is 680 News.
If you're hearing this,
Oh yeah, it says Etal in the name. You think it's not Canadian, right?
or you're going to work.
Oh, Kraft Canada, that's Canadian. Etel Pasta, that's got to be European,
To get
right?
through
Right.
this unprecedented time. But whether you're at home or on the front lines, you're doing your part. And if you need us, just know that Intact Insurance is here for you. Online or by phone.
What's your
and
number?
with 24/7 claim service.
What's your number?
Visit intact.ca or talk to your broker.
Hi, I'm Anthony Lawson.
Our family
No phone number. I was gonna call them. Hey, Intech, you're here for me? What can you do for me? I'm having a crisis. I'm having an uninsurable moment.
I'd like to thank all our team members for their continued commitment to serving our community. And I'm grateful to our loyal guests for being patient with us and with each other while we do our best to keep our shelves stocked, our stores clean, and our community safe. And even though we're all trying to keep our distance, I hope this experience will bring us all closer together. Thank you.
Fuck you, McDonald's. Fuck you. Coffee Time's a bunch of quitters. Tim Hortons, oh, you can get your coffee, then you gotta fuck off. What are you, crack dealers now?
Good morning.
You didn't start off at Coffee Time. You can't be acting that way at Tim Hortons, bro.
And I'm Asher Rod. Here's what's making news this hour.
The House of Commons returns today, all in an effort to pass a massive $73 billion wage subsidy bill.
Oh, you didn't know? They didn't pass this shit yet.
Session.
We're already spending the money.
For COVID-19 as the province moves to extend our state of emergency until April the 23rd. That means all emergency orders that come with it are extended.
Not the 22nd, which is when they wait. Wednesday, Thursday. They don't want you to remember Earth Day. Earth Day, are you kidding me?
The Biden campaign is now preparing to take the next step in its
The Earth is having a people day. Turn up the temperature a little. Turn it up a little more. Just a little more.
9:15.
Look at them, they're all running around like crazy, coughing and sneezing.
Here's Maria St. Tobin.
Oh, you think it's funny to eat bats, eh? The bats are laughing at you now.
Music star Brett Kissel joined Ron McLean for a chat. And when asked about one of his favorite memories from his rookie season, McDavid says it was going up against Sid the Kid.
The face-off was me against him, and Alex nervous. And he snapped it so far back that he was already out of the circle before I could even get my head up.
You can catch the full episode on sportsnet.ca. Meanwhile, on Timmins last night, NHL Deputy Commissioner Bill Daly says the league doesn't have a concrete cancel-by date for the 2019-20 regular season. He also says the league has discussed the possibility of having neutral site games, but they haven't really gone far in regards
1920 season hasn't started yet.
Plenty of offers from various cities. You can listen
to the 2021 fiscal year is already, we're on the 11th day, bro.
And whether you're a baseball, basketball, or hockey fan, Sportsnet has tons of throwbacks today to keep you satisfied. At 3:30 on Sportsnet, you can watch Edwin Encarnacion's 3 homer.
I've been asking for these throwback playbacks for 20 fucking years.
Raptors Warriors from
Guess what? I ain't got time to watch them now.
And after that, at 10, you can catch Leafs and Game 1 of the 2001 Eastern
Conference. You fucked up television. You fucked it up.
15 to 45 past every
hour. It's like the crack game. How did you fuck up the crack game? Oh yeah, you want to start selling crack with it? Go ahead. You could probably make money at it. Hey, like it used to be.
Coy Brothers 1 and Coy Brothers 2.
One's bricks and mortar, and the second is our online store.
I hear both are equally as great, except if I shop online, I can't see you, Bill.
That's a shame. But online, we're.
Oh, you got contracts with cable companies and satellite. You don't have contracts with cable companies. Cable companies don't pay for the signals they sell. They don't. They don't pay for those signals. You don't have contracts with cable companies. You have contracts with satellite companies. Half those satellite companies aren't white market, the gray market, black market.
Direct alert by TELUS Health can be. This personal emergency response service gives your loved ones access to.
Okay, I get it. You got first run advertising. The advertisers are paying you a lot of money. They want to be there first when it first airs. Okay, that makes sense. Run the shit the next day. Give it a 24-hour delay, and then just put it on demand.
You can save up to $180 a year on select plans.
Then it don't matter if you get.
For details.
680 News Time.
Then it don't matter if you get 1 view or a million.
40 million Californians are entering their 4th weekend under
40 million? I thought you had 30 million.
Designed to slow the spread of COVID-19. And restrictions are also being tightened even further at recreation spots and often see their largest crowds during this Easter long weekend. Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti says that restrictions will gradually be eased, but only when conditions are safe.
We're working very hard at plans where we can feather people back in. It's not going to be a flipping on of the switch and everybody goes back to work. It's more like a circuit board. Maybe some people can and some people won't.
Your analogy don't make no sense. It's not a switch, it's a circuit board.
We won't have 1 day longer keeping you at home, but we won't let you out 1 day earlier than the public health officials tell us is necessary to save your lives.
Oh, we're going to lock you up to save your life. Okay, that's what the psychiatrist said when I told her I'm physically dying. I don't care about your physical health, I care about your mental health. Okay, why are you making up stories about me if that's true?
Is now preparing to take the next steps for its run.
Yeah, 26 days in an unheated room with no toilet, no ventilation. I got sickle cell. Yeah, that's a murder charge, bitch.
Three Democrats with knowledge of the
You're gonna kill me, homeboy, on the street, come get me. But if the doctors can't do it, you can't do it either, right?
Biden's already committed to picking a woman. Possible candidates include U.S. Senator Kamala Harris of California, who herself ran for the Democratic presidential nomination, U.S. Senator Tammy Duckworth of Illinois, Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer, and New Mexico Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham.
Go for the Michigan one.
Washington.
Still ahead on 680 News, we'll take a look at your traffic and weather forecast coming up.
You're smart, you're going with the Michigan rep.
680 News telling 920.
Hey guys, weekend only. Untuckit is having their best spring promotion with 25% off all
Untuckit. We don't tuck our shit, bro.
Long, bulky dress shirt, and that's why Untuckit makes sure it's specifically designed to be worn that way. Untuckit offers 50 fit combinations, so tall, short, slim, and bigger guys can experience the perfect fitting shirt. And this weekend only, you can now get 25% off at untuckit.ca during their best of spring promotion. Use promo code BEST25 for 25%
book right here.
That's untuckit.ca. Code BEST25.
Amy Tan.
We're two men and
it's called Saving Fish from Drowning.
All that's left to do is to call them over you know you can trust. Well, actually, you think two men and a truck, since you know they have lots of men and lots of trucks. They'll wrap, pack, and move everything.
Wrap, pack. Yo, where the fuck did crack start again? California, Mr. Was it Newsom or whatever the fuck your gay name is? You fucked, bro. You got elected, so what? You didn't build that state. 40 million, and they all gangbangers. Don't be fooled. Oh, we're just hippies that came here in the 60s. What's that AK-47 on the kitchen table for? Oh, don't look at that.
We are dealing with a little bit of construction.
I'll let dogs out, I will.
27 ramps to the 407 are closed, but other than that, everything's moving very well. Lightly traveled. I'm looking on the 401 right now in the Scarborough area, just really all across. Seeing a pretty light drive, and really speaks for the rest of it. Everything is moving well on all of our major routes. We do have Shaw's still blocked for some TTC track work. Watch out for a broken water main northbound Kipling down to a single lane at Rathburn. St. Louis Bar and Grill, thank you for supporting local businesses, including your local St. Louis restaurant through takeout and delivery. Goes to the first responders, keeping us all safe. With a check of your forecast now, here's Denise Andriachi.
Well, lots of sunshine out there today. Mix of sun and cloud this afternoon with increasing cloudiness expected a little later tonight. We are going to see showers for Sunday with seasonal temperatures. So a very typical spring day.
So the sewer pump out trucks, those are contractors.
Degrees. For Monday,
the water main repairs and installations are city crews.
About 10 millimeters likely.
Poor bastards that got to scrape the stuff off the sewer grates. That would be city workers too.
An hour likely for the GTA, stronger elsewhere.
But you can't just go from east to west, north to south to cover each one. Because there's parked cars, garbage, and all sorts of
so
things.
We are watching to see if Environment Canada issues any statements here in the GTA, and we'll let you know. Right now it's 2 degrees at Pearson. You're guaranteed.
It's 13:23 o'clock. That means something to somebody, don't it?
9:23. Don't forget 680 News is the only radio station with the weather guarantee. Today's jackpot sits at $21,100. You can head to 680news.com to find out how to become a member of our Insider Club. Still ahead on 680 News at 9:30, we have the latest on everything you need to know about the COVID-19 pandemic here in the province as well as the country. Ontario just extending its state of emergency until the end of April. We're also learning that Prime Minister and a couple of MPs will be sitting down to pass one of the largest economic measures we've seen since the Second World War. All those details coming up at 9:30.
And remember,
and you gave me something.
I was thirsty.
WW2 came out. Canada jumped in, and we shot 200 or 300 Canadians for treason. That's no joke.
You can provide a meal for just $4.25 and ensure that everyone who comes to the Scott Mission is warmly welcomed by people who care. Make your gift on.
Oh, those Canadians are so nice and polite. Yeah, because we got a lot of guns and a lot of things to protect. Oh, we're polite, yeah, because We just killed like 3 other Canadians over there for being dickheads. And we don't want to scare you away because we need your money.
Visit 680news.com.
Don't fuck around up here.
Comes back to television screens tonight.
Live from New York, it's Saturday night!
ABC's Jason Nathanson tells us.
Can you sue all those people? Not with a camera either. With a Windex bottle full of COVID or something, man. Come on.
We'll return with original content April 11th, but no real details on what that means.
Can I watch Jim Carrey dying in a hospital bed of COVID, please? I don't care if he's acting or it's real. I just need to see
Network
that.
Network says that it will abide by physical distancing rules. Still ahead, the weekend business report up next. 680
Oh, you can smoke crack on camera, but you can't go within 6 feet of each other. I will place the crack pipe down and step back, and you can take your hit.
Pause on elective surgery.
Wipe off the pipe
Toronto
first.
and Ottawa locations. I and my Herzog Eye Institute staff remain available to you online and by phone to schedule future appointments and to help you stay up to date and safe.
Yeah, I've said this before. These companies, they do an average of 3 procedures a month. The company I went with,
So we can stay connected. Look after yourself.
I don't know how to put it. The 3 surgeons that they list at the top of their fucking thing, so the one I got and the 2 brothers that started it, each have 50,000 procedures completed. And the concept of losing your sight to an infection is hypothetical. It's never happened at this place. The warning is on the paperwork. It says, we are required to give you this warning. It's hypothetically possible, but it's never happened yet. 1,990, which is like $1,400 US. No tax, no sales tax. I can see your face from a kilometer plus. Oh, I've tested it. I look out the window. And I can read circuit boards with this one. LASIK MD, I got PRK. I did not get LASIK, I got PRK, like fighter jet pilots and boxing.
Companies taking action, sponsoring Stronger Minds, which is a free digital program full of resources to help Canadians navigate the situation. Joe Blomley, Executive Vice President of Individual, Public Sector and Mental Health at Green Shield Canada, says there is usually an aftershock following a crisis like this.
So if you look at data from SARS, from the tsunami in Japan, from 9/11, there was a so-called pandemic after the pandemic, or a shock after the shock. So based on our data, we assumed something similar was going to happen. And based on the feedback we've gotten from our own employees and clients, it does seem like there is a mental health challenge that's starting to percolate up.
He adds the first reaction to the pandemic has been a focus on the ability of the government to handle the situation from a healthcare perspective.
What we're now seeing is obviously the
I've seen
economic
the government
consequences
do everything that by the book.
of our economy. You throw on the ramifications and mental health challenges.
I don't know what happened in all the other countries and jurisdictions of the world, but here I watched. The government did everything by the book, and the people decided, no, I'm going to do what I want.
It is a double-some burden.
As we begin to come out of this situation,
you know why homeboy was shooting at random cars last night? To prove that he could.
Like going to the gym for your mind.
People aren't listening.
Recognizing and changing unhelpful thinking patterns, developing personal coping strategies. The undercurrent of this crisis from a mental health perspective is going to be there for a long period of time, so we want to make sure that people have those tools.
Oh, there would be people on the psych ward now, except the psych ward is full and it's located at a hospital, which means you can't go there unless you're willing to commit to staying there, because you might get sick and fucking die.
Mental health at Green Shield Canada. At the Business Center, I'm Carl Garnish.
Weather forecast you can bank on.
Oh yeah, at the psych ward, you're in one bubble with everybody else in the hospital. They don't see you, but if you get a disease, they get exposed to it. In the jail, you're all separated.
Don't miss the incredible $6.8 million grand prize, our world-famous early bird prize, and the $1.1 million Prince Edward County.
Yeah, and there was 4. I remember saying, what was that, 2 or 3? By the time I got off the thing last night, there had been 4 vehicle fire collisions, whatever. I don't know what's happened. They're smashing into poles and catching fire or something. But there was 4 over the course of like an hour and a half.
That's why Duca Credit Union.
That was before the shooting thing. I went to sleep. This shooting thing happened while I was asleep.
And low mortgage rates.
And they always tell us about the car theft rings, always first thing in the morning. You never hear about it on the evening news. It's first thing in the morning you hear about the car theft rings.
Until March 31st, 2021. Find out how at earnmore.duca.com.
Because they know we're up all night.
Do more, be more.
Wandering the street.
With Duca Credit Union.
They don't want us getting the heads up, the tip off, nothing.
680 News.
We wander home, sun comes up, we turn on the TV, the radio. Oh, fuck, they busted a whole bunch of people last night. We didn't even know.
And thank you so much for doing so. You can listen 3,
We're not
4,
paranoid,
5
we're
times
prepared.
a day and always be in the know. You can hear us on your smart speaker, phone, or HD radio, as well as visiting us
You
at
can hear us in Grandma's
680news.com.
Packard.
And right now, downtown Toronto, we're sitting at 1 degree, just above the freezing mark. Feeling more like -2, though, with those wind chills.
The Chevrolet
Lots of
with
sunshine,
the
though. We are
push-button
expected to get up to a
transmission
guaranteed
system.
high today of 10 degrees. But remember, if you are enjoying the outdoors, please practice physical distancing. 680 News Time, 9:30.
#1 for news.
What happened to just respecting people's personal space? You all needed a re-education in there.
Good morning. This is Saturday, the 11th of April. I'm Asher Roth.
Looking
Good
at this
morning,
chain,
I'm Leo
it pisses me off
Johansson.
that it
Here's
broke.
what's making news this hour.
Financial measures not seen since the Second World War. The federal government hopes to pass its wage subsidy bill today as they call an emergency sitting of the House of Commons.
The correct way to look at that is we went almost 100 years without having to do that. That's the correct way to look at
Mayor
it.
Tory is asking city officials to increase the pressure on bylaw enforcement.
Police are on the hunt for a suspect after a man was seen shooting at vehicles near Jane Shepherd Mall.
Was there spit on the bullets? No, I don't care. We'll ticket all these fucking joggers. Fine, $1,000
What kind of playoff
for
format would
jogging.
David like to see should play
There you go.
resume, and MLB could really mix things up if the 2020 season does get underway.
Bitch, if I don't know your dog, you don't live around here. Don't give me this you're walking your dog
The
bullshit.
pandemic has upended the way we do grocery shopping, and it's
Oh, I don't remember
especially
you people. I
challenging for
remember your
healthcare
dogs.
workers. That challenge has prompted a new website.
Yeah, all the weird drug dealer types and street people are saying hi to the dog you're walking your buddy's dog, and you think your buddy's got some weird fresh. No, we're looking at the dog. We don't. I don't know who you are, but maybe the guy died and you got the dog, and it's coincidence that you're walking by in the same corner. I don't
A
know.
little bit of construction.
saying hi to the
427
dog.
ramps to the 407. Those are restricted right now for that road work
The
going on.
dogs
But the
know
good
they're
news is
supposed to
that's
be
really the
inside.
only
They know.
construction
There's
I'm seeing
times
on the
you
major
stay
routes.
in
The
your little
corridor looks
cave.
practically
They know
empty
that.
at this point. Haven't seen many vehicles on the Don Valley Parkway 401, a smooth drive across the GTA as well. Business owners, home builders, and homeowners alike, stop the spread. Ensure that your home or business is COVID-19 virus and pathogen free, guaranteed with WeCleanCovid19.ca. Book today at WeCleanCovid19.ca. With the forecast, here's Denise Andriachi.
Clear skies downtown Toronto. We're sitting at 2 degrees. It feels like -2. Temperatures climbing this afternoon. It will be a pleasant spring day. Increasing cloud tonight. We are expecting showers for Sunday and stormy weather for Monday. So today, enjoy the seasonal conditions and the sunshine. You're guaranteed.
Seasonal. It's always a season.
680 News Time, 9:32.
This season is rainy, mixed hail, snow season here in Toronto.
Isolating at home,
That's how we start summer, with hail.
Capital for an emergency sitting to debate the Trudeau government's $73 billion wage subsidy bill to help businesses.
It's the latest move to carry Canadians through the COVID-19 pandemic,
To
which has now affected
nationalize
more than
the means
22,000
of
people
production.
right across the country and
You all work, the government's paying your wages. If they say you don't make cars no more, you make ventilators, guess what? You make ventilators.
Leah, the $73 billion wage subsidy program is being created to help businesses keep staff on their payroll. The federal
3/4 of my
government's offering to
paycheck
pay
came from this guy. I'm
75%
gonna listen to
of workers'
him.
salaries,
That's
leaving
why it's
many
not
of those
50.
struggling
That's why it's
businesses on the line
75.
with the remaining 25%, and that means layoffs could be reduced, and some companies could even start hiring back employees they were forced to cut. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau spoke about the emergency sitting at the House of Commons during a time when so many are being
Hey,
encouraged to
Bob,
stay
I know
home.
before the crisis, we were talking about how you really don't have much experience making widgets, but it's okay. We don't make widgets anymore.
Continue. Speaking ahead of the
We
emergency sitting,
do
NDP leader
that.
Jagmeet Singh moments ago criticized the criteria in place from the federal government for Canadians looking for financial help.
Shut up.
Too many people are falling through the cracks,
Oh,
and it should be a message of
I don't
if
like
you
that.
need help, apply. Conservative leader Andrew Scheer is expected to hold a media address of his own at 10 o'clock this morning. And now,
Apply
according
for
to
all of it. The worst that could
CBC,
happen is you have to
there's
pay
an
it back
agreement in
later.
place between all parties that they will give unanimous consent to the wage subsidy, pushing it through towards the Senate for approval by late tonight. Reporting live, Stuart begins 680 News.
Senators don't give a fuck. Is China going to buy the treasury bills? Okay. Rubber stamp policy.
Officially extended Ontario's emergency orders by another 2 weeks. 680's Joey Keeney has the latest on local efforts to weather this pandemic, including a new request from Mayor Tory. The province of Ontario
fortnights,
is ordering an extension of all emergency orders until April 23rd. That means the current measures in place will stay in place. Non-essential businesses will be closed. No gatherings, no events. This will continue to be the norm for another 2 weeks at the very least. The announcement comes as Mayor Tory calls for even more bylaw enforcement, offering his strong opinion and support for officers to come down hard on people who aren't physically distancing. In his letter to city officials, he says, after a week, we are still having informational chats with hundreds of people who don't get it or won't comply. The time has come
they know. You think they don't? They've got a $1,200 phone in their pocket. They know what's going on.
And that parks and public squares are off limits.
We're not talking fucking Moose Factory. Maybe somebody lives out in the woods, didn't know. Oh, I haven't been to town in a couple months. That's not what we're talking about. They've been to town. Everybody was gone. I saw two guys that both had their faces covered.
And common with seasonal allergies also mirror some of the symptoms of COVID-19. And health specialists say the biggest difference between the two is a fever. According to public health, common symptoms for COVID-19 include fever, dry cough, difficulty breathing, diarrhea, the loss of taste and smell. And the symptoms of seasonal allergies include sneezing, runny nose, coughing, and itchy eyes. And they say you should consider how long your symptoms last before panicking. Seasonal allergies typically last the whole season, while COVID-19 symptoms, they last anywhere between 1 and 4 weeks.
680 News Time, 9:36. Spring is in full swing, and with it comes inconsistent weather patterns. Our weather specialist.
Yeah, was I not just saying that?
Isn't guaranteed to be seasonal.
We kind of see
what the fuck is seasonal
playing out. So yesterday it was cool and below seasonal. Today we're fairly seasonal, dry with a mix of sun and cloud. We are expecting showers Sunday, Monday. Tomorrow, not a bad day. Easter egg hunts maybe hold them over until the afternoon. It does look like we'll be somewhat unsettled through the morning and early afternoon. Highs near 10 degrees and about 10 millimeters of rain.
And along with the unsettled weather, Denise says we're also looking at some strong winds
today too, right?
680 News Time, 9:36. It was a scary incident in the city's northwest end last night. 680's Medicine Fitzpatrick explains. Gunfire erupted Friday night near Jane Shepherd Mall, where Toronto police say a man was seen shooting at cars in the area. Officers were called to Jane Street and Shepherd
Avenue. That means he did that. Well, he knew people could see it.
Fire and shell casings. On Twitter, Toronto police say that a man in a black t-shirt was shooting at cars in the area before
black t-shirt. Sure, it wasn't a polo shirt. It was a t-shirt.
Also located
no buttons, right?
With the windshield shot out. No injuries were reported, and police are still searching for the suspect. If you have any
whose car got shot out? That's the thing that gets me.
Toronto police or Crime Stoppers. I'm Madison.
Was it like that's the guy? So I'm gonna get his car, or was it just like some poor bastard come out in the morning? I don't have a job no more. I don't have no money. Can't go to the grocery store. Now my car ain't got a windshield.
Vehicles last month. One man was arrested and charged with possession of property obtained by crime at the time, as well as trafficking in stolen goods over $5,000. Two other men were arrested and charged on Thursday after two search warrants were executed, a residential property and a business, both in Mississauga. And those two men were charged with the same charges, as well as other fraud-related charges. The three men will appear in a Brampton courtroom at a later date.
But you got three other guys for cars.
9:38.
Stolen goods over $5,000.
And SPCAs across the country wants to make sure Canadians include their pets when planning for a possible quarantine.
They include their pets in their funerals and wills.
Says pet owners need to make sure they have enough medicine and food for their furry friends for at least 2 weeks. She says people also need to have a contingency plan.
What happens?
Somebody needs to make pet-sized ventilators, because you can make like 4 of them in the same space as one full-size one.
Who will take care of them? Where will they go?
Or you can just come up with an adapter. Come up with some type of adapter to hook up 4 animals to one ventilator. They were going to do that here.
Call upon to take care of their animals should they end up being hospitalized.
She says it's also important to have your pet practice social distancing in the public, because there are cases where animals can catch and bring home the coronavirus.
Animals know about disease. They don't think of it the same way we do, but they know what disease is. They know the smell of death.
Star is trying game show hosting.
They know things.
Trying to put together as
They
much
know
content
things
as
are bad
possible
right
while
now.
players
They know the
stay home and
birds
play
are
down the
avoiding
shutdown.
hanging out.
PK Subban, one of the league's most
They notice
charismatic
that.
players, so it's no surprise he's doing this.
Hey, hockey fans, join me, PK Subban.
NHL Hat Trick Trivia, a new weekly show. Our fans try
I
to
don't know who
answer
named their kid
questions from
PK,
their
but-
homes. Here's an idea of what to
The
expect.
only thing I know about the guy.
Defenseman for the New Jersey Devils. Great looks, skill,
New Jersey
and
Devils. Oh,
skill.
that's interesting.
It's and remember, if you end up on the show, don't worry. There's no way any of your answers are worse than this. Oh, wait, sorry, wrong show. Sorry, Family Feud, sorry. NHL Hat Trick Trivia debuts at noon on Sportsnet.
You left
I'm
out the
sorry
funny part of the joke, bro.
Chicken coming up in 30 seconds. We'll check the price of gas.
680 News Time, 940.
Every time you spend some cash, you get some cash back with
Yeah, they call it change, bro. Unless you have exact change.
With no limit on how much you can earn. You'll even earn on your monthly subscriptions. And when it comes to those necessary purchases like gas and groceries, you get 4% cash back on eligible purchases. 4%. Plus, right now, your first year's annual fee is on us. Don't just spend.
Annual, thank you. I was about to say, that 4% has to come from somewhere.
CIBC.com/cashback.
Grocery store giving 4% off? Wouldn't they just give you 2% for paying cash like the fucking diesel outlets do? Oh yeah, the big trucks don't pay.
Are you looking for a ministry
Don't pay the same
inspected
price,
online
okay?
high school where you can earn credits or upgrade your marks? Learn from home with the Ontario Virtual School. The Ontario Virtual School allows you to earn OSSD credits while you learn from home, so you can get your high school diploma. Now is a good time to sign up. Set
You
your
can
own
pay your
schedule and
friends
get
to get you your high
24-hour
school
access to our
diploma.
certified teachers. Some courses can be completed in as little as 4 weeks. Learn more at OntarioVirtualSchool.ca.
David Jones here from Hire the Gardener. COVID-19 has brought a lot of change. I hope you're coping well.
Oh,
Many
no
have asked me if
change.
we're
Pay
still
with a
open.
card or get lost.
Absolutely. The grass will still grow, weeds will still need picking, and the gardener is still 100% committed to maintaining and beautifying the 24/7 view from your window. You don't have to come near us, but you can definitely wave to us. Talk to us at hirethegardener.com. Take care of your home, and let's all take care of each other.
680 News Time, 941.
Checking your drive this Saturday morning, it's Zach Bodenstein. This report is brought to you by Pizza Pizza. Things are moving well out there on the major routes. It's lightly traveled really anywhere you go.
Even when there's no reason for anybody to be out, they're still telling you the traffic is moving. It's okay.
Southbound 427 ramps to the 407 are off limits, so you'll have to take those ramps to Highway 7 if you are looking to head east and west. Seems like a very viable alternate at this time. Again, you won't find too many other motorists traveling the roads once you're out there, so not too many concerns. And the rest of this TTC track work that's taking place on city streets, Shaw's blocked at King for that, so everybody forced to turn right. Pizza Pizza is now offering free delivery. Order online or on the Pizza Pizza app.
On King or on Shaw, you don't make no sense,
You can
bro.
request
I know that intersection so well. I've heard that 10 fucking times. I still don't know.
Your forecast.
I
Here's
can't
Denise
visualize what
Andriacci.
the fuck he's talking
Lots of
about.
sunshine today. It's feeling
Shaw
like
is
-1
closed. Is King
downtown.
closed?
We're
No,
sitting
Shaw
at 2
is
degrees.
closed.
Those winds are
That's
starting to ease, so wind chill won't be a factor as we move
It's
through the rest of
tracks
this
they never
morning.
use.
And then by the afternoon,
They
we're
don't use those
seasonal.
tracks.
We will see some cloud conditions increase through the late overnight and into early Sunday.
gotta
Some
be
rain
fucking
for
kidding me.
Sunday.
You're
Maybe we need to
ballsy and
hold off or
stupid.
find some alternatives to a
Your
backyard Easter egg
species
hunt.
is
We're
dumb.
looking
I
at
don't know
about
how
10 to
you lasted
15
so long.
millimeters. High near 11 degrees tomorrow.
I
Your
think you're going
guaranteed
for the
high
lazy
today is
people.
10.
680 News Time, 943.
Well, instead of the candle-led ceremony to the Colosseum that happens every year, Pope Francis celebrated Good Friday in a different way with Italy under lockdown this year.
In an empty St. Peter's Square, Pope Francis led the Good Friday Way of the Cross service
The
last
tables are
night.
turned.
It's
Now
the
you're
first time
locked
the
down.
procession commemorating the last hours of
Living
Jesus'
by our
life
rules.
was not held at Rome's ancient Colosseum. That since the modern-day tradition was reintroduced by Pope Paul VI in 1964. Francis watched from under a
That's
canopy
how
on the
recent
steps of the
this shit is.
Basilica
That's how
as a
recent it
handful
is.
of people
New.
from Italy's prison system and Vatican healthcare workers
There's movies
carried
you
across
watch that are older than
torch
that.
wartime. Speakers included a convicted murderer and family members of victims. Megan Williams, ABC News, Rome.
Still to come, we'll check your top stories and check sports.
This is 680 News.
The coronavirus pandemic has created a dramatic new world. It's a really weird time with lots of uncertainty. People are at home, self-isolating and social distancing. And we'll talk about it all on Frequency Podcast Network's The Big Story. Join me, Jordan Heath Rollins, every day to discover
how something else too. All these jackasses don't live around here.
Strategies,
they're at home, right?
All right here on The Big Story.
They're not here.
Listen and subscribe.
Home is obviously somewhere else.
And at Frequency
Where's all the idiots driving on their phones?
Frequency.
Don't see them. They don't live around here
It's a
either.
challenging time out there, and it's imperative that we keep each other safe. That's why Dogs Garage
Yeah,
Doors
I
is
recognize the
changing
dogs and the
time.
license plates.
Stay home, and let their
And
trusted
the regular ass
sales
people
agents
recognize my bandanas and jewelry
products
and
ask
jumpsuit
questions straight from
and the
the comfort
boots.
of your home. Dogs
So,
understand
you dress
that
this
your
way on
safety
purpose,
and
right?
the safety of the community is paramount.
I could pick them out of the lineup, but I don't think they could pick me out of one. But we recognize each other, and we don't recognize you fucking outsiders. Go away. Go home. Go home and stay home.
680 News.
It's getting warmer across the city. We've got a clear sky. It is 3 degrees in downtown Toronto. Good morning. From the 680 News Broadcast Center, I'm Asher Roth.
And good morning, I'm Leah Johansson. Here's what's making news right now.
For the first time through this pandemic, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's daily address will not take place outside his Rideau Hall home, but inside the House of Commons, where MPs will gather today to debate the largest economic...
I only found out 2 days ago he's doing daily updates, eh? Like you're fucking failing on this one.
If it receives unanimous
My TV should turn itself on and go bing.
by another 2 weeks through April
Tune into this
23rd, that
motherfucker.
includes the closure of
It's
public
2020.
places
No, that
and
doesn't happen.
essential
I gotta look for
workplaces,
this.
as well as those lower electricity prices and enforcement initiatives. And 3 men are facing theft and fraud charges after Peel Police seized 16 stolen vehicles worth over $1 million from a pair of properties in Mississauga. 680 News Time.
That is a different
9:45.
story. Okay, they got the fraud charges right. Okay, that's what's confusing me. They did get fraud charges. That's not the same guy.
Oilers captain Connor McDavid was a guest on In Conversation with Ron McLean last night. And when asked what kind of playoff format he'd like to see should play resume, he says, "Don't mess with a good thing."
Well, I think as normal as possible, and you know, the full season and you know, for best of 7 and you know, the playoffs on each side and you know, keep that as regular as possible. But you know, I think we just want to play.
You can find the full chat on sportsnet.ca. Meanwhile, on Tim and Sid last night, NHL Deputy Commissioner Bill Daly says the league doesn't have a concrete cancel-by date for the 2019-20 regular season. He also says the NHL has discussed the possibility of having neutral site games, but they haven't really gone far in regards to determining possible locations, though there have been plenty of offers from
75
various
cents
cities.
worth a week.
You can listen to the full interview.
I swear to God, that's like 75. That's like a phone call's worth a week.
Or wherever you
phone
get your
call.
podcast. To baseball,
could
where
put
things
a
could
thing
really
in
get
your
shaken up
one-hitter.
as the 2020 season does get underway. According to USA Today's
You do got a
Paul
one-hitter. You
Lanier,
can do
MLB is
these all day.
considering
Like 10 or 15
eliminating
of
the
these little
American and
bucks.
National Leagues that would have teams play at their spring training facilities either in Florida or Arizona with no fans.
Sports are at 15 and 45 past every hour or at any time at sportsnet.ca/590.
Stop the spread. COVID-19 can be deadly. Acting
You're
now
a spreader.
will save
Quit being a
lives.
spreader.
We all need to work together to stop the spread of COVID-19. Staying home protects our most vulnerable. Staying home will help keep
Maybe
our
they
family,
gave us those
friends,
food
and
rations
neighbors safe. Do your part.
because of the
Stay
name
home.
on them.
For information,
The
visit
brand name is
ontario.ca
Spreado.
/coronavirus.
I think they were thinking ahead. We can't sell this shit now. Maybe that's why they gave it to us.
Have you heard about
The
direct
passion
lending?
spread.
It's more flexible than bank lending without the bank. With tougher regulations after the financial crisis, traditional banks have cut back on lending to homeowners. With a home
Apparently
equity loan
not.
from Capital Direct, the money that you could use is a simple phone call away. Whether it's home renovation,
Have you
college
heard of
tuition, or you just
Toronto
want
or
to pay down
Vancouver?
taxes, Capital Direct can help. Go direct. Call Capital Direct
Oh yeah, the
today
prices
at
are higher
1-800
in New
New
York
Capital
and
to see what's
California,
available
sure.
for you.
But there's some justification for that. There's no justification for this shit here.
All News Radio.
Crack House is going for 1.2 million, eh? Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Just as ventilators are in short supply because of the COVID-19 pandemic, so are the medications that are necessary for patients to be put on those breathing
They
machines.
said people are waking up pulling the tubes out.
System pharmacist is sounding an alarm about
That's
a looming
gotta be the
shortage of
disease.
drugs
It's gotta
that
be the
go hand
virus.
in hand with ventilators, and sent a letter to the White House. When clinicians put critically ill patients on the machines, they generally need several drugs, sedatives, painkillers, and at times paralytics to keep the patients from pulling out the tube stuck down their throat. One expert says trying to run the ventilators without these drugs will be like trying to operate a fleet of cars without gasoline. Usage has increased 73% last month.
I know you guys are not sleeping and stuff, but your analogies are out there today.
New York City is having a tough time dealing with both emergency and non-emergency calls as the coronavirus continues to challenge that city's healthcare system.
Dialing 911 is taxing the system in New York City. Operators are said to be answering a new call every 15.5 seconds. On the other end, panic voices, people calling for help for a sick loved one or for themselves suffering COVID-19 symptoms. But dispatchers say others are calling just for reassurance that a sneeze isn't just a sign they've been infected. The system is so overwhelmed. The city has started sending text and tweet alerts urging people to only call 911 for life-threatening emergencies.
We don't get those texts, You're wasting your money, whoever you're paying to send those out.
Many charities are seeing an increase in demand because of COVID-19. They're struggling to meet that demand. Air Miles among the many companies that are trying to help. It says it's committing up to $1 million to support Food Banks Canada and Kids Help Phone. If you collect Air Miles, you donate 500 Dream Miles to either charity, and Air Miles will contribute $50 on your behalf. Coming up in 1 minute, we'll check the roads and we'll check your extended forecast. 680 News Time, 9:50.
500 miles, $125.
That help make this
there's a nice scam,
librarians who help us research projects.
There's a nice scam. 500 air miles cost the retailer $125. Oh yeah, they pay cash for those. They give you an air mile, it costs them 25 cents. Oh yeah. So you give up 500, they call them Dream Miles now. So the retailers collectively paid $125 for you to get those miles. You donate that, they donate 50. They're getting 125 and donating 50. Wow. Pat yourself on the back, Air Miles. Pat yourself on the back, Air Miles. I need a musical interlude. Yeah, if I do everything in the correct order, the music pauses when I start the video, but the notification doesn't disappear. The problem I keep having is if I stop the music, I have to go all the way back to the fucking beginning to find the fucking music program. Once I turn it on, I don't want to turn it off. It's like some vehicles.
Niggas on my dick. It's don't get close and blah blah blah. It's raw dog. You know it. Yeah, we ain't getting none. Capping his dead, trapping his back. 40s and 5s, beam on a Mac. Hop on the whip, using the mask. 40 with 30s, you do the map. Nigga said he wanna kill me, nigga. I'm right here, nigga. Hey, real deal, you a Toy Story, Buzz Lightyear, nigga. Trapping his dead, trapping his back. 40s and 5s, beam on a Mac. Hop on the whip, using the mask. 40s with 30s, you do the map. Hey, nigga said he wanna kill me, nigga. I'm right here, nigga. Hey, real deal.
Oh yeah, on a normal day, I would just walk the 2 minutes to the grocery store, get the milk, come back, make coffee. $1.50 for each tin, right? $2 for a single coffee. You know what? I'm not going over there because I know there's going to be 10,000 fucking people there.
Shorty got bands, tell me what is yours worth? Mine from the block, came straight from the dirt. Take her up the ends, move to the birth. Got coke, got crack, got perks. Got beef, rap, bullets that hurt. Hands over bread like sesame seeds, big bird on the block. Sesame Street,
every type of hustle, every type of distribution system, you just add another level and fucking double the price again.
Using the mask, 40 with 30s, you do the math. Hey, nigga said he wanna kill me, nigga. I'm right here, nigga. Hey, real deal, you a Toy Story, Buzz Lightyear.
And since I got the money, I'm spending it on both.
40s and 5s, beam on the map, hop on the whip, using the mask.
If I didn't, I would have to deal with the grocery store and just sit here and do it out. Oh, poor baby here in Canada. Things are so horrible.
Real deal, you a Toy Story, Buzz Lightyear, nigga.
You know how we deal with things here? We know if we get a busted arm right now, yeah, we'll get a cast. We might spend 2 days waiting to get it. We're going to be in the hospital with a whole bunch of sick people. So you know what? We're just avoiding getting broken arms right now. Yeah, it's true. If you have health insurance, you do take more risks. That's statistically shown. NHS in Britain. NHS in Britain. Oh, they got guns in Britain now, of course. What? They got knife fights and glass bottle fights and shit. Is sending people to the hospital all the fucking time.
The derelict. You're now rocking with the
illest. Go to Texas. That doesn't happen.
You're now rocking with the illest. You're now rocking with the illest.
Now I could put my hands on you. I got two options here: the hospital or the jail. They're both not fun. Canada's different. You can take me to the jail and the hospital. You're gonna hit me in the picture, right? And you still gotta give me my sandwiches. And I get to go to bail court in the morning. Yeah, fuck you, officer. There are places you don't threaten a police officer and his family, because your family are this ain't one of the places. We tell them what not to do. Oh, they're gonna put their fists to me. So I told them what would happen, and they didn't put their fists to me.
Every time I hit the mic, I get a feeling excited. My heart to make it palpitate.
Oh, the threat was very much real, Your Honor. But it's no threat, it's a contract.
You can never get to this.
Punch the button, and the thing will happen. So if you want to punch that button, go for it, sir.
Bringing noises through your city that you only wish to ever achieve, and dreams that you have can't compare. We're blinded, y'all, so be scared of this glare. Yo, that's now rocking with the illest. E-block boy, who be keeping it the realest. Stay on top, cause I'm oh so fresh. This be the type of dude, but it's
stress on the turn you down for bail 8 fucking times for no reason. Yeah, she don't come out of her house anymore, don't she? Virus and no virus.
Stress on your chest from the part of town where the gangsters, they rule the scene, working day and night like king, before the cream. Always to themselves, peace be like a bumble. I'm about my hustle, but stay real and humble. Making hits in a group just to chase goals. Making hits in this life ensures that I hold onto everything that I once loved. Everything that I once loved, just because you mean to me, my personality being that I'm one fiend for this fucking rapping shit. Rapping machine, it might seem like I'm quite obscene, but whenever rocking the mic, I'm always hyping the scene by any means. The time and the beam and the flicker, you can understand it, I spit it quicker. I'm a liquor sipper, get myself strong, you're retarded and crazy. While all you rappers sit back, walk shit and be lazy. Yo, welcome to my spot, you're now rocking with the illest. E-block boy, who be keeping it the realest. Stay on top, cause I'm oh so fresh. This be the type of dude, put the stress on your chest. Welcome to my spot, you're now rocking with the illest. E-block boy, who be keeping it the realest. Aim on top, cause I'm oh so fresh. I be the type of dude putting stress on your chest. Stress on your chest from seeing these moves I make, cause the time that it takes is not enough for a fucking break. Go and 8, go bananas for some of this money, cause I've been feeling lately that I'm quite a dummy. Looking for something, but something's leaving me wrong. Feeling like I'm losing my soul in every fucking song, cause every time I spit it, say I quit it to my skills. And people understand I'm gonna be clocking them bills. Don't talk about paper because paper's not what I'm after. I'm after the fucking transaction of being a rapper. The dopest there ever was. The dopest just because, cause everybody around here too immature like Beach Buzz and rapping about everything. Some pretenders and the baddest of the people that are trying to be the predators of a society that's mixed up with so much crime. And all the time in my mind is not enough to make it divine. Yo, welcome to my spot, and now rocking with the illest. E-block boy, who be keeping it the
yeah, these aren't fucking kids that want to be gangbangers and thugs and buying music to sing along to tell that story. No, they're actual drug dealers and bangers and thugs trying to be entertainers and get out of the life. No, you guys don't understand that.
National rollout. So now we're across Canada. We've made 400 matches of a medical worker with a Good Samaritan grocery shopper in their neighborhood, and 70% of our matches are within 1 kilometer.
Now I have to ask, does the website make money?
Oh, we don't. This is a totally not-for-profit. Our total hard costs for us to run the platform have been about $50.
Lombardi also says they will continue.
So how did you people get $290 yesterday and you're bumming smokes off me today? Fuck off. They're not even, it's not even like, sell me a cigarette. No, I smoke.
Message from Canadian Blood Services.
Walk to the damn bank. What's wrong with you? Where'd your money go?
Donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days. That's why we need donors every day. There are lots of
Me
reasons
too.
to donate
Send
blood.
money
Book
now.
now at blood.ca.
Tomorrow, next week, and next month, the need for blood is constant. Check your eligibility to donate and book now at blood.ca. Canadian Blood Services. Together, we are Canada's lifeline.
You suffered from anxiety and depression during this pandemic, and now your claim for disability is denied. My name is Aaron Waxman, and during this pandemic, we are open and working for our clients from our homes. If your disability claim is denied for any reason, call me at 416-661-4878
No,
or
pas
pound
du
LTD on your cell phone.
vin. Pas
And
du
before
vin.
you
Non,
call,
je
you should
n'avais
always
pas du
remember
vin.
that there are no bad questions. 416-661-4878 or pound LTD.
Now, 680 News regional weather conditions for Walmart.
At Walmart, it's not business as usual, but our commitment to everyday low prices remains. With hundreds of rollbacks in-store and online at walmart.ca to help you save money.
In Aurora this hour, we've got a clear sky and 2 degrees. Cambridge, clear and 3. Markham, clear and 3. Oshawa, a clear sky and 3 degrees. Right now in downtown Toronto, a clear sky, 3 degrees, feeling like -1. This is CFTR 680 News at 10 o'clock.
I watched it already. It's clean. A little bit of tarnish. Oh, it's coming off. Oh, message.
Good morning. It's Saturday, April the 11th. I'm Leah Johansson.
And good morning. I'm Asher Roth. Here's what's making news right now.
A $73 billion aid package for Canadian businesses could be passed through the House of Commons today. The wage subsidy program is meant to help Canadians stay afloat during the COVID-19 pandemic.
Ontario announcing this morning that the province-wide emergency orders will be extended until April 23rd. And Mayor John Tory calling on enforcement officers to hand out more tickets.
Okay,
yes, hand out more tickets.
Wickenheiser is at XYZ Storage on Eastern Avenue this hour, lending a hand in the Conquer COVID-19 PPE drive.
A vehicle seizure worth more than $1 million. Peel Regional Police have charged 3 men in the GTA.
Where the coffee top of the gas station used to be.
NHL to pitch themselves as hosts for potential neutral site games. And what's the latest on the Rogers Cup in Montreal? Sports at 15.
And coming up in business, new initiative from Walmart Canada. It's going to deliver groceries for frontline medical workers right to the hospitals they work in. We'll talk to the company about that and about its online grocery delivery backlog.
There's some more that doesn't make sense. I don't roll over my head till it makes sense. So why not just send it to their house?
Report is brought to
You
you by
can give them the
Queensway
key to your
Hyundai.
house, but you don't want that. You want them to meet your alert.
Especially, we're only dealing
Well,
with
sick people.
one area of concern. It's a little bit of construction in place. You'll have no access to the 407 from the southbound 427. Crews doing construction on the so you can take Highway 7 and use that, and it's moving well as an alternate. Meantime, 401 looking good across the GTA. We don't have much happening DVP 404, QE Gardner, or the 400. Buy with confidence at Queensway Hyundai, now offering purchase from Home Solutions, 6-month payment deferral, and concierge services. Visit queenswayhyundai.ca. Let's check the forecast now. Here's Denise Andriachi.
Well, milder seasonal air this afternoon compared to yesterday. We are sitting at 2 degrees now under a mostly cloudy sky at Pearson, a bit more sunshine over through the downtown core. Overnight tonight, we will see an increase in cloudiness. Showers expected for the rest of this long weekend. But today, sun and clouds and a guaranteed high 10 degrees.
And it's funny because one of the guys I know from the side board's real name is Hugo Boss.
The Commons returns today.
That's not his last name.
To pass a massive $73
Amongst his
billion
names
wage
are
subsidy
Hugo
bill
and
during an
Boss.
unprecedented Easter session.
Used
Prime
to be
Minister
real.
Justin Trudeau says this is the
What the fuck
largest
are we gonna
economic
do?
measure Canada has taken since the Second World War.
And it comes as the COVID-19 cases across the country continue to grow, with over 22,000 reported and 569 deaths. 680 Stuart McGinn joins us live with the very latest. Stuart.
Asher, as you guys mentioned, a measure the likes of which has not been seen since the Second World War. The wage subsidy program is a crucial piece of legislation for the federal government.
We're working with other parties to get this in place as
Crucial for the
quickly as
government,
possible.
yes, to
According
nationalize
CBC,
the
it will
means of
be
production.
quick today. The government has reportedly reached a deal with the other parties to receive unanimous consent on the bill so it can be pushed through to the Senate, which will help businesses by covering 75% of employees' wages for at least the next 12 weeks. But the agreement doesn't mean full support. Holding a media briefing of his own this morning, NDP leader Jagmeet Singh says Trudeau's language and criteria around the